All right, welcome back to RV Daily Driver. Change of pace today. It's the afternoon, so what we're gonna do is, plan is I'm gonna drive down the road a little bit. We're gonna talk about one of my, I guess, least favorite products that the RV definitely has, and really that is the kind of the electric awning. So it's really easy to deploy. It's not difficult to put out there. But if there's one piece of equipment on the Class B Sprinter chassis that is going to give you the most stress, by far, it has to be the awning. So coming up on a year, so I've had this for a year now. We do have 20,000 miles on this RV. It's been really good, not a lot of true issues with it. But the one thing that I would say that I probably have used the least amount since I've had this RV, not by choice, but definitely because of the design, is truly just the awning. So when you go somewhere, you put on an awning, it's great. I mean, that's what you want to have. You want to have an awning, you want it to be out there, you want it to protect you from that sun, so you have a nice place to sit underneath, and then that's really the key. You know, you're out in the sun, a little bit cooler there. It just really, I guess, emphasizes that camping experience. If you go somewhere and park and you don't put out the awning, it's kind of like, dude, I'm just here. I'm in my van, you know, I'm just kind of out in the woods. But really seems to be something special with that time that you put out an awning. And I mean, maybe that really goes back to the time when I was growing up, that, you know, Gramps would have the camper and you go down there and the awning would be set up, and, you know, you'd have those lights out at the awning at the end. And I mean, you know, from growing up, there's, you know, people had owls, people had just little different color lights, and then there was some really people that were crazy and had these like really amazing lights. So, you know, at night when you're a kid, you want to go out and walk around, like, hey mom, let's go walk around and see what kind of lights people have out there, you know, on their awning. Because, you know, old times people just had all kinds of stuff, and that was really the one cool experience, you know, you had at night with camping. I mean, obviously the other cool experience was sitting around the fire, you know, making some s'mores or camper pies. I mean, that was also a great experience. And I think, you know, when you're a kid, those camper pies or s'mores are really truly amazing. So that's something, you know, if you're looking to get an RV, you want to do that for your kids or whoever you're with, that's just the experience you're looking for. So getting back to the awning, it's, you know, really amazing to put out the awning. And I mean, Winnebago's done it right, that when you do put out the awning, guess what? At the end of the awning, there are a set of lights that are out there, and that set of lights, it lights up. It looks great. I mean, that's really the key, to say, yep, I got some lights out, I got an awning out, it really looks good. And it just kind of makes you happy. I mean, everybody can remember as a kid going out camping, and that's kind of just what you did. You put the awning out, got your chairs out, or, you know, if you're lucky, you had a picnic table out. And that's just what you did. You had that out there, and, you know, that kind of really completed the whole camp feeling. But the true issue with the awning on this RV is there's just no supports on it. So it's cool. I'm not arguing that, you know, they've got a really good system. They've kept the supports off the side of the RV, so it looks clean, it looks nice. And I mean, if you're looking to replace your car with something like this, you can really get away with, you know, hey, I can park this in my driveway. You know, homeowner association is not going to complain. And the only piece that really looks different from a van is the awning. You have this big long board that goes across the top on the, and that's, I'm telling you, when I drive down the expressway, I can look at Sprinters and I can really tell by, hey, look, there's a there's another RV, because it has that piece that's, you know, running down the front that is that awning. So I'm gonna park here I'm gonna kind of give you a demo of actually, you know, how the awning goes out, where the controls are. It's not super windy today, so I don't think it'll be a big issue, but you actually get to see that flex in the awning. And that's gonna be the real emotional point you have, that, hey, I'm sitting in this, you know, $100,000 rig or more, depending on, you know, what you got. And that looks like that awning is about to flip over or tear itself off, right? And you can just feel it right here in your heart every time that thing bows up or the wind really pushes down on it. You can really start to get that piece of anxiety. And that's the real point, you know, that I started off in the beginning, is it really kind of stresses you out to go ahead and put it out. And I'm not saying that they haven't, you know, there's not an answer for that. And they do have the answer. And I've used it many times, and it's just truly automatic. That at some point when the awning is fluxing up and down, it does have that automatic retract. And it's done it. So the first time we got it, it actually did it. We were down in Louisiana, I had it out, beautiful night, you know, wasn't paying attention, but during that night it started a thunderstorm, so you could hear it actually start to retract, and I was super excited that it actually did that and that it did work. But again, the real point is you almost feel like before it retracts, there's that moment in your heart where you think like, dude, it's gonna wrap around the RV. You know, that's really an issue, and there's nothing really that holds it down. But it hasn't happened yet, but I can tell you there's times that just being paranoid, I will actually hurry up and actually bring the awning back in. But again, it's not a fast process. So as it's coming in, I definitely have the tendency, and I'll walk up and grab the top of it because I'm just so worried that it's really gonna tear off the back. So, all right, let's get parked that we are now. So I'll jump out and actually give you a review on, let's talk about how it goes out, how it comes in. And I'll try to show you that flex, and maybe I'll be able to actually, you know, push it to that extent where it actually come back in itself. And I'm also talk the app. So Winnebego has really done a good job. There is an app where you can actually open and close the awning yourself. So that's really a good feature in case you are away from the RV or you went for a walk and you're coming back in and you see that, oh man, the wind, I can see the RV flex, and you can hit that button and really retract it for you. So, all right, let's go take a look on how to put it up. All right, so we're down here where we actually control the awning, the in and out here. So this is pretty much the easiest place to control the awning. It's pretty actually convenient that right when you step in the coach, you can push it in or out. So it makes it kind of easy. So what you want to do is make sure your coach batteries are definitely on. You hear that click? That's the real key to know it's on. So you push this awning extend button, hold it down for a second, and it'll start to go out on its own. It's not a big deal. If you want to stop it, hold this button down, it'll actually stop it. See how it turned blue? Push it again to start to retract the awning. So this is the first place you could actually control the awning. There is a second place to control the awning. Let me show you where that's at. All right, so the second place you control the awning is actually just right up here on the pad. Just click on the, to wake it up, click to the right-hand side. It's pretty easy, it's an in and out. It does have that warning, hey, make sure you take a look and see that nothing's in the way. But again, hold the button down. You can hear it start to go out. Hold the button down again, stop it. Again, that'll bring it right back all the way in. All right, so next thing is, let me show you how it actually comes out and how long that process takes. Because again, it's not a super quick process, but let's take a look. All right, now that we got it out, let's take a closer look and see what we really have here. So it's a pretty basic concept underneath. You can see that there's these three ridges that basically run along it. And what you can really notice is they're not extended out all the way. You see that? So what you can really notice is they're not extended out all the way. Let me flip the camera around so you can get a better view of that. All right, so underneath here, basically you have these three extensions that really hold it out. And the real key is to take a look and remember that they don't extend out all the way. There is a small bow in these, and that's really for safety, so that it kind of gives it that, you know, that little bit of spring, and that's what's really useful, you know, to really prevent that flex and really absorb that flex that this does have. So you can see that this part here basically just came out of up there, and it does leave that. As it comes out, the awning does roll out, so that's really good. Up in here there is a button for the awning lights.
Just click those, and those do really run down, as you can see them. They run down the full length of the actual coach, and you'll notice that, again, I've had this for a year, but right here, there's a fair amount of LEDs that are out. Looks like we have 3 out there, and I think that is it. Oh, looks like we have another one out here. So that's something to definitely take a look at, you know, make sure you're checking those. All right, like I said, so I do have an appointment. If you do have a coach now, Winnebago has extended your warranty depending on when it expired for an additional 60 days. So the 17th of this month, I do have a actual appointment to take it back. So what I want to show you is, I think I can get this in the top of the screen here. You can start to see, let me scan up. Do you see that right there? So that's definitely starts to make you like a little bit concerned, like, oof, how's the wind here? So let me just step out here a little bit more. No wind at all right now. But again, you can see there's no supports that are holding this down. That's really the true concern you have, that, you know, as you start to flex this, right? And you can see that it, you know, it has a fair amount of flex, right? So let me flip the camera on. I'll show you like how much that's really flexing. All right, hold on a second. All right, so I'm just gonna push up and down on it. You can really start to see that flex, right? So it's definitely bouncing up and down. So that's kind of a concern, you know what I'm saying? It hasn't kicked in yet to go in, so let's do a little experiment here, and let's see how much we have to actually push on it before it actually starts its own self-retraction. So stand by, I brought me a little tool to help out with this one. All right, so I got me this handy dandy little broom here. This is gonna help me kind of push up on it. So let's see if we can make it go in by itself. So you can see that there's a pretty fair, we're probably doing 4 or 5 inches of self, right? There's that click, right? Not bad, I mean, that's good, right? But look at the time it's taking to actually retract it. So think about if you're somewhere and that wind actually continues, this is the time where you're really just stressed about, like, dude, is it gonna make it in time, or is it gonna wrap around the RV? And that's really the concern that you have. So still going in, still waiting, you know, is the wind really kicking in? Is that really a problem? Has it completely wrapped around the backside of the RV? I'm not saying it doesn't have a lot of flex in it, but again, that's the part where it's really in your heart where you're thinking, dude, you know, I'm in this big expensive rig. Do I now have an awning that's wrapped around the backside of the RV? And if so, how am I gonna fix the problem so that I can at least drive it home? You know, that's really this whole video is about, that it really has been that concern of, hey, how much can I use the RV? And then truly, you know, is it gonna wrap around? I'm sure you can do a quick Google search. I would imagine there's probably a bunch of videos where, you know, someone goes out on the walk, they're coming back in, and their RV is literally has their awning wrapped across the top. And then I think some big other concerns that really come to that is, you know, is my insurance company gonna pay for that fact that this awning has just wrapped around my RV? You know, that's something I haven't asked. And, you know, since I thought about that, maybe I'll give them a call and let you know what they say. You know, if you've had this problem, throw it down in the comments and let me know that, hey, we've been in the same situation and we've had that RV completely, you know, the awning was completely backwards on the RV and it was back laying across the top. I mean, I guarantee there's people that have had that problem. You know, big wind kicks up. We saw the time that it takes for it to actually go in. That's definitely a concern. So next I want to talk about, let's do some experiments. So do you think you can drive the RV with the awning completely out? Let's take a look, because that's going to happen, right? Someone's going to forget to put the awning in, going to put the vehicle in drive, and they're going to drive it. So let's see if Winnebago is smart enough to prevent you from doing that. All right, let's take a look. All right, who is surprised by that? That is the first time I've done that. But what's funny is the coach had nothing to say about, hey, your awning is out, dude. But they did tell me my door was open. So there's a key, right? If you leave your door open, you can see the awning's out, so you might be safe, right? But if you leave your door closed, you can't see the awning's out. So if you've ever drove your RV with the awning out and say hit a pole, tree, or just scraped it on something, throw something in the comments, because I'm curious. Someone's done it. I got it. If you don't admit to it, that's fine too. But this is definitely something else to think about, that, hey, you need to do those checks that everybody talks about. Get yourself that checklist and definitely put the awning in. I guess it would be possible, if you were lucky enough to be in a big parking lot like this, that you wouldn't hit anything. When the wind started, the awning could go back in, but let's not count on that, right? So that's definitely something you want to think about before. All right, I'm going to cover one more thing. It's going to be difficult to show you, but I'll just tell you about it. This coach does have an app. That app does allow you to put the awning in and out. So before, like I was talking about, that, hey, if I had the awning out, went for a walk, you would have the ability to see that, hey, there are some clouds coming in. You could definitely put the awning back in to try to save you, but don't forget there is that time frame that goes with that. And I haven't checked, but I would imagine there are some aftermarket products where you could do something to actually hold down the awning. But again, this whole video really stems from, this is the product I've used the least amount, just because the whole pitter patter in your heart when you see that wind blow up, or those big black clouds that come across the sky, thinking, dude, my awning is going to be wrapped around my RV. So, hey, if you like this content, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, like it. That's something, that, I want to make content that people like. So just hit the like button, subscribe, and throw me a comment down below. I know there's some of you out there are watching that have actually had their awning wrap around their RV. So just tell me your story, man. It's YouTube. It's anonymous. Nobody really knows if that's your real name or not. So, hey, have a good 4th of July weekend. Be safe out there, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.